The lover who does not tolerate secrets, who releases every information that's hurtful to the other partner, that such information is never forgotten in a relationship, is no friend of love. So in today's session, let's look at secrets versus privacy. When should you be secretive in a relationship and when should you be private? And what is the relevancy of being private in a relationship? Because most of the time, many relationships, many marriages, many romantic relationships get strangled by secrets, by lack of privacy, by careless talking, where one partner never forgives the other forever. So let's look at that today in our session. Dr. Mariam Naguja, the Ladies Guide, your emotional wellness guide, every Friday bring you this useful content money cannot buy, but which makes life worth living, your emotions.
She's a lady, she's a Cancer.
So previously, we had a session on the two most valuable traits you should never lose, you should never sacrifice for love or for a relationship. So if you missed our last week's session, we deeply covered these two very valuable traits that each one of you must have and must actually protect, never to lose for anything, because it's what actually defines you. We looked at honesty, we looked at honor, and dignity. Okay, so people who lack honor and dignity most of the time lose themselves to emptiness in life, and that's what we looked at last week. So if you missed our last week's session, please visit the description section below and find the link to the previous session we had in our previous week. Don't forget to share, because sharing is actually caring. Okay, and give us a thumbs up if you find this useful to you and your friends. Okay, most importantly, share the video in case you find it very useful to you. So that's what we covered last week: honor and dignity as one of the two most valuable ingredients in relationships. People who lack honor and dignity most of the time lose it as time passes by. Okay, so that well said, let's dive into today's session on privacy, secrecy, because most of the time many of you lose relationships because of not being private enough, and many of you lose romantic relationships because you talk, you release valuable information carelessly, thinking that you're trying to be honest to your loved one. You see, when it comes to love, when it comes to romantic relationships, all of us, each one of us thinks when you find a partner, bw'ofuna munno gw'oyagala olina omugamba buli kimu, you're coming clean. Okay, you're telling them every bit of your past, every bit of yourself. And what we think usually is we are trying to bond, which is true, okay, at some level. However, when it comes to emotional intelligence, you must understand how humans think, behave, and react when it comes to personal relationships. So most of relationships have been strangled by secrets being released. Many romantic relationships have been lost because of carelessness of speech, lack of punctuation, lack of that editing part of the speech. You release information and you lose a marriage. Oyogera muno nakukyawa, oyogera muno nagamba agambye atya nade nerowooza. Okay, so when we are in love, when we are married, when we are in a relationship, when we are in any romantic association, always remember, secrets can damage a relationships, especially when you're releasing them in a wrong time. Lack of editing in your conversations, that you say anything that comes to your brain, anything that comes to your mind, because you're trying to be romantic, you're trying to be honest, you're trying to bond with your second other, may actually end a relationship seriously. So in today's session, njagadde okubajjukiza nti ebyama bimenya omukwano. It can protect, it can kill a relationship. So before you say anything in a romantic relationship, before you say anything to your spouse, before you say anything to your partner, edit it and see their reaction. And that's the reason for today's session. Because many people who come to me, many clients have lost relationships. Many women have lost potential mates because of carelessness of speech. You talk. Women, we talk a lot. You don't keep anything to yourself. Buli kimu akyogera okuva wavudde waka, kyasanze mu kkubo, gy'alaga, ani amukwanye, ani gw'asuubira, ani gw'atayagala. I mean, we don't keep anything to ourselves. Yes, I know it is human nature for a woman to talk a lot. Now, this is emotional intelligence. Now I'm telling you, when it comes to human interactions, when it comes to relating with other people, we are different. Okay? Nabagambako mu video yange nkadde nti much as two people come together because of love, we stay individuals from the inside. Tuba tusigadde nti temufaanagana. Okay? So most of the time, we must have the intelligence, the social intelligence, to know what to talk and what not to talk, and the impact of that speech to the other person. Mugenda ne mwogera ebintu n'omenya omutima gwamu n'otali kusonyiwa. Marriage neetambula emyaka n'emyaka naye ng'ekintu akiteese ku mutwe kuno. Yaŋŋamba bw'ati, especially when you have heated arguments. When you have heated arguments. You are dating someone and someone is coming to know you to emotionalize you into a relationship. N'okubawo ekigambo ekyama. Ekyama. Bakifulumya ddi. That is the reason for today's show. Now we are going to be covering two kinds of people in this show. The lady who is dating, or the man who is dating, and the married couples. So let's start with the dating couples. I mean the dating lot. If you're a single woman, if you're a single man, omuntu wakamulaba picking the romantic interest in you, talina kutegeera nnyo, takumanyi. You are a mystery. Usually the visual is destructive. Usually the visual is, we cannot know exactly who people are until when they open themselves up. Through speech, tulinda bigambo byo okugradinga. Okay? So when you've just met somebody and you are careless with speech, especially the women, the ladies, because the moment you meet somebody, you want to tell them all your life in the first date. Your names, who you are, your brothers, where you come from, the headaches you've had in your early childhood days, who you hate, the mistakes you've made in the past, the exes, what they've done to you, the romantic relationships which never worked out, the marriages which never worked, you know, you never know byogera wanonga mutandika, which is very dangerous to the relationship. So, to the people who are dating, I want to give you one scenario. One thing you must never forget when you are at the dating scene. If there's anything you have to forget, never forget this one. When you bring a pet into your house, bwoleta pet mu nyumba yo nga tebadde naawe long. I will always refer to pets. Why? Because it is the best description of an emotional relationship built over time, which you can't buy with money. Because there is no way you can go to a pet shop, n'ogamba munguze pet eyo, get me that dog, get me that cat, and he falls in love with you immediately. You take it. You take it. It is impossible. It is built in the test of time when this pet emotionalizes you as its owner. That is the rule of pets. So when you meet somebody for the first time in a romantic relationship, and then you put all your cards to the table, you tell them who you are, whatever, and then you come clean in the name of being honest. Honest at times is lack of politeness. I have learned the hard way. You know, I was so verbal. As you see me, I'm too verbal, but not after camera. Okay? I learned after learning so much about emotional intelligence and the power of speech and words. So when you meet a romantic relationships and you're on a date with this guy, and then you put all your cards on the table and then you lose the mystery. Abadala bechiwale chikirivu. Ali tamanyi kwanya tulina n'abaana bewazalako ne bikulema. Tamanyi nti wavako mbufumbo ne Buganda. Tamanyi nti olina single mom, and then you put all the cards to the table in the name of being honest to this new partner. What happens next? Then, because they've not emotionalized you, just like a pet, pet w'ogitwala tennaba ku emotionalizinga. You first invest in it, n'eri emmere yo, n'ogiteekako mu ssawo, n'oteekamu ku ssente. Okay? You invest in a pet until when the pet falls in love with you, and you fall in love with it because of what you spent on the pet. Period. So before anyone has spent money on you on a date or in a relationship, it is like the other pet. Okay? They've not yet emotionalized you. You're not part of their lives. Okay? There's something about spending on something. You become responsible. This now goes to the ladies. If a man has met you and he has not emotionalized you, with emotionalization of a man, I mean he has not spent a dime on you, nothing. That is not a relationship, period. Nachibagamba. Forget about the 30 days rule, 90 days rule. Smanya, he has been with me for long. As long as he has not spent anything on you, he is not emotionalized, period. Meaning that you can't release any information which is very meaningful, which is very sensitive to somebody who has not emotionalized you, just like a pet. Before a pet trusts you, also you feed the cat, you feed the dog, until when the dog now knows that its master can't throw it away. Otaddemu nnyo kinene. Embwa ogiteekamu nnyo kinene naye nga togenda giryako magi. Naye because otaddemu kinene eba eri sure nti ogenda kugikanyuga. Negamba ono ataddemu nnyo kantuule. That's how relationships should be. Ladies, if you should ever forget anything, don't forget how a pet comes into a owner's hands and what it takes for them to be with the pet. Okay? Because embwa batagenda giryako magi. Okay? Naye because aba ataddemu nnyo ne pet ebeera sure nti nanyini wange tagenda kunkanyuga amaze oteekamu nga naye etuula. That's how it works. So back to relationships. When you are with this person, whether you have a dirty linen in the past, you have a dirty past, oyina abaana si essaawo mugamba eddakiika eyo nga tannaba na ku emotionalizinga, tannateekamu n'okubawa ekigambo. Nze nno taata w'abaana wange yanzaalamu basajja bazibu yantamya abasajja okikubyewo kati onatandika okukwalishulatinga ono mumutwala bamuleke. Ani atwala abaana bameka? Basatu mbatwala wa ng'abuukamu ne bw'aba afunye romantic interest olwo amaze okukulozinga obwongo from your information. And by the way, men dig information from you on dates. The intention of dating for a man is to collect as much information as possible from you. Buli wakutwala ku date yaba yagala information tobulooza nti aba kutute kutumulako. Think through. Dating is collection of information from a woman. Now as you're eating and drinking, oli mu kwogera ono ng'awuliriza bw'ati alina n'abaana ekyo ng'akinootinga. Bamukyawo abasajja bameka ng'akinootinga nti ono yasulanga na mbidongo ng'anootinga nti munnange nze gwolaba I was a drug addict but now I'm saved and I'm a born again Christian and I no longer do drugs. Kagamba yanone ku drugs. You know, you're releasing all your past on the table. That's what we talk about today. Secrecy versus privacy. When should you release certain words and to who? Most of the time, some of the secrets are better left alone and you die with them. No one needs to know my past. My past belongs to me and it belongs in the past. No one needs to know. Why did you bring it to the table in the present? That's why I always teach my students to learn the value of journaling. Bawulyange ebigambo bikwitiddeko wano ng'oyagala kwogera oyagala kubawo kyama mu dating genda owandiika ekiwandiiko ku kitabo ogambe nti I used to do drugs but now I'm a born again Christian. I went to church and I became saved. Kiwandiike, don't tell it to anybody. No one needs to know your dirty linen. Come on! Everybody has a bad past. So many relationships are lost because people put out their dirty linen in the name of love. You see, love plays games on our minds. When we fall in love, when we love someone, we think we have to tell them everything. In fact, when you meet them, you think, oh my, I found someone to tell everything about me. That is the first thing that comes to your head. Mfunye wengendo gambako. Abamu kumba mumanyi ebigambo nga byabajjula dda mu mutwe. Mwabula dda emikwano ebibunyumiza ebigambo n'obitwala ku date. Omuntu azze na bigambo bya love. Banaye tu separating ebintu bino. Nzijidde ku love. That is my manifesto. ng'omusajja gwe nojja nonyumiza ebintu banyumiriza abakwano bo baganda bano biŋŋambira ku date ndabanga omuntu gwenfumbafumba gwe ngenda okwagala ate onyumiza bya past yo eriddate. Okay, so that is what we're talking about today, that secrets are harming many potential relationships. Many of you, when you stay single for a while and you don't know the reason why, it may be because you overtalk on dates. Buli gwofuna omugamba baana bo, buli gwofuna n'omugamba nga wanywa drugs, buli gwofuna n'omugamba nga wali bannanga abasajja bambonyaabonyeza, kale ndowooza gw'onaabeera wanjawulo. Owulira oli n'agamba bali bameka nze agenda okubeera sevia nga naye agamba akanyangu nange nveewo. You see, so the rule of dating is appear your best, put on that makeup, have that dress on, you know, look romantic. Omuntu akulabe nga bwakulaba kati, no past. Bakuza, honey, can you tell me about yourself? I'm going, not really. Currently, oyogera currently, toyogera past. Currently, I'm doing a course in, I'm doing my PhD in psychology. Then, I'm investing in, then toyogera ku bintu byekadde, togeza. Well, love, I'm just, you know, well, whatever. Let me see how it goes. Go sirika. Enjoy the music. Nolya ku mmere. Oyimba namu. You but don't ever open your mouth to talk about your past, no matter how someone asks you when you're on the date. Tagamba nga come clean. I need to know everything about you, baby, before we get started. That is better left in the past, and that's the rule of love. Okay, so when it comes to romantic relationships, and why we are saying this today is to avoid talking too much too soon and releasing very valuable information to a person who is a prospect, who would have been your future husband, future wife earlier on. So let's just enjoy. Because secrets and being honest are two different things. Okay, you may be honest, but you may be not being polite to this person. As in, when I come back, I know the Jonah in Anabana, Nima Kawalakato, Kalinga Kanakato, Kalinga Kakuru, I choose it. Songate singer also say no emotionalizing, like a pet. Nanyumira your company, nalaba advantages okubeera naawe. Abaana ne wobaleta ku fourth date. Nga ona amaze okunywa gamba, she's fun to be with, she's not a boredom, you know? Biri ne bijja late, it is different. Someone can take you with your dirty linen, but not early in the relationship. The point is, not early in the relationship. So, zip up your lips, ladies. Bawulyanga bikuta ngoyita mukwano gwa naye omanyi nne kyama ki nazala mu priest. Nga kiggwa. Oya nga musekamu awo. Naye bandi kigamba ani kino ndi amwayi sirika. If you can trust that friend. Bawulyanga tolina gwesiga, journal to God. Omugambe, dear God, I have a huge secret. There's something I want to tell you. It is burning me. Who can I tell it to? You know, even God loves your secrets. Asekamu nagamba, omwana ampandikidde ebbaluwa ono ng'esesa buseseeno. Naye temumala gwogera bannange. Kubanga okwogera kusse relationships, okwogera kusse emikwano, okwogera kusse enkolagana, kubanga tulowooza nti we are coming straight and clean to everyone who we fall in love with. And that's the reason for today's show. So let's go to committed relationships. Commitment. Because when we are committed, many people think we should again put all the cards on the table. And honesty is part of building trust. Remember, trust is one of the foundation of a happy relationship. Nti abantu okubanga beesigangana y'entandikwa ya enkolagana entuufu. Naye nga amazima amatuufu singa tubuuza abantu abasinga nti ddala baani abalina amazima ago. When you look through relationships, they are very few. Because if you put all your linen on the table, many people would end up closing some relationships. So then, because emotional intelligence, we understand that human beings think differently, behave differently. Ate buli omu alina endowooza yanjawulo ku ya munne. Tomanya muno kyalowooza. Tosobola mubuuza nti mukwano olowooza ki? Tojja kukitegeera. Ne bw'anaayogera ajja kuba kulimba oluusi. kiri better nti we should embrace two things in a relationship: privacy and acceptability. Nti obeere nga munno okkiriza nti amazima atajja kugamba buli kimu, ate ebintu ebimu ne bakwatanga nga obirabyeko bwoti toyogeranga mazima nti ddala kyekyo kyolabye kibadde kituufu. Things that kill romantic relationships are like having an affair. Honestly speaking. Omuntu nalyoka omubuuza ddala mweyagalako nagamba nti yena mwagala, it will never change. No matter how you're coming straight and you're coming clean and you're trying to be honest. Remember we said in the beginning, people who are too honest in relationships, who release every information to their loved ones in the name of being honest, are no friend of love. Toli mukwano gwa love ejja kudduka. Kitegeeza nti time etuuka nga ne bw'oba olina ky'obadde okoze tojja kukyogera nti amazima gati I have an affair. I'm telling you, I'm just sorry honey, forgive me, I had an affair with my secretary. Excuse me. Edakiika eyo ng'okyogedde, someone say okay, I've understood. Naye bwadde bw'ati ne yeebaka ng'omuntu gagamba na having affair nani ne secretary nga banjooze akyuse. That can never be the same thereafter. There are many conversations lovers have which are detrimental in the aftermath. There are many things we talk in relationship, carelessly by the way, in a honest way. Naye ng'omenya omukwano. Omukwano guyina entondo bannange. Omukwano guyina entondo. Guyina abakwano baagwo ne balabe baagwo. Because omukwano guyina entondo, ate naffe tulina okuba nga tuli very conscious. N'ebigambo bitwogera ebiseera ebisinga eri bannaffe tulina okubeera nga begendereza. I can give you a scenario of there's a careless question usually women ask. Normally just out. N'obuuza omuntu, n'obuuza muli out, you're riding. Muli mukubo. Oyinza okubuuza omuntu ekigambo n'omugamba waaye. Nolaba omuwala oba owakabina oba owa hip. N'omugamba oyo omulabye? Oba ekibuuzo ekyo mulabye? Kikyolaba. It is a careless gundi. Kade because muli bamukwano agamba nze abo abawala ababubina abo naye nga gwomanyi tokayina omanyi tokayina naye ate akulaze interest noddayo nogamba agambye atya. Then one day it happened muli ku event oba somewhere ne wajjawo omuwala wekika kyekimu yeeyo n'atunulayo bw'ati jjukira wamubuuza ekintu ekyo luli kati kuna omulabi atunulayo. Then you can lash on the other lady because gwolina ebirowoozo byo ebya previous conversation gye mwahavinga. Naye ngeri it's a careless talk. By the way, idle speech, careless speech also must not be entertained in love. Love, like any other business, there is no carelessness of speech. You have to be very careful. You know what kubuza ebibuzo ebiri funny. Nti who is your fantasy, baby? Who is your fantasy? Oyinza okubuza who is your fantasy? Guy n'agamba your sister. I like Sarah. Akyogedde muli munzikiza oluusi nno. Muli munzikiza. Takirowoozezako nti ekyomusana gudayaka. N'agamba what is your fantasy? I like Sarah. Your sister. Kaoga tu your sister wenkero gamba oni yangambye alina fantasy ya Sarah. N'ogamba vano genda. Obitabuse relationship mugyonoonye. You've disorganized your sister. Tebibadde mwade mu bibuuzo ebiri idle. Idle conversations in love can destroy marriage. Baby, tell me one thing you've ever done that is crazy. Mbulya ekintu kimbu ekiti. Kyoli okoze nga kisesa n'okubawo ekintu n'okyogera. Eyo secret ogireleasinze. Enkeera omusana gugenda okuvayo bwegu n'akutundira bwali n'agamba ono bulijjo yakola bw'ati. Mystery efudde obyonoonye. Bannange bwe muba musabanga Katonda ebintu byonna musabire emimwa gyammwe abakyala n'abaami. Pray for your lips. What to say and what not to say. Carelessness of speech can cause a whole relationship to go down. It can damage a good relationship, just carelessness of speech. N'onyumizako munogamba munange nina ekintu kye njali njagala okugamba naye oba kigambe oba nedda kiŋŋambe naye lwaki onkuuma ebyama mbuuliraako noba n'ogamba my boss is hitting on me. Naye sisobola kukkiriza naye omaze okyogera kati ono buli wakulaba ng'ogenda ku mulimu bwoti najjuka ekigambo my boss is hitting on me. Nalawo behavior change. Otuuka leeti oddala titakutegeera ngamba ne bano baleka batandika dda wakyogera luli kati tanza okuplayinga kati humbe bali ku mulimu bali mu kweyagala ndi wano kikyuse. So carelessness of speech, idle speech must never be entertained in a marriage or in a relationship which is long term. Buli kyogenda okwogera sooka olowooze, what is the impact of this speech to my colleague and the future of the relationship? Because most of the time the future of the relationship dies because of carelessness of the words you spoke long time ago. In any romantic relationship or partnership, always be very careful on how you share information carelessly. Idle talk awali omulabe, okweyogezayogeza ebiboozibuuzi ebyo mu biseera mu by'eddembe, then oli naddala nalowooza bw'ati n'aplayinga ebigambo bayogedde n'akomparinga n'ebiriwo n'agamba kumbe bulijjo. Okay, so learning how to train your lips on what not to say or what to say in a relationship is wisdom. And you should also always ask God to help you. Okay, because secrets, according to my experience, is one of the reasons why many relationships is for them. Abantu boogera ebintu betalina kwogera. Just like how a parent should never tell the child everything. Bazadde baffe tebalina betatugamba nga babisirikira gyebiri nakisirikira bwati gwe nakulabanga okulagala banno kano n'akasaasira. Every parent has a secret of a child. Asirika tajja kugamba buli kimu. Then you who is just married or who is marrying somebody, lwaki oyogera buli kimu? So temukolanga nsobi ezo za kwogera bintu carelessly in a relationship, and that is today's show. Nze bwe mbaletera wano emiramu most of the time wabawo ensonga mba nnaku ensinzidde. Bwe ndabanga ekizibu kigenze mu bantu nga 15 nga boogera ebigambo bye bimu different families, mba ntegedde kati kino bantu myekisomeseeko. That's why nakoze research ya secrecy. Should people stay private? Should people say anything because of love? We are married, let us put everything to the table. Okay? Not everything is meant to be secret, and not everything is meant to be said if you want to be a friend of love, if you want to be a friend of a relationship. Era ne oba ne mukwano gwawe betalina mugamba, it's like releasing a formula of an ingredient. N'omanya nti amazzi gano bagateekamu ingredient kino ogigamba abakozi bonna oba obyonoonye. It's the same thing with love. Okay? Waliwo be tutalina kwogera oba tulina okwogera. Kati gwe alina okumanya when to release a secret, and I'm going to teach you when and how to release a secret, and the secrets you should never keep, and the impact of talking anyhowly. N'oyogera n'oba omuntu akubye muba mulemu kulaba movie n'olaba omusajja n'ogamba. There is a guy I really like in Hollywood. He's called Gerard Butler. He's one I like action movies. No guy anzanyira obulungi naye nga mwagala nnyo. So when Gerard is on TV and I'm watching, I just say but I can't do it when someone else is watching. I love him. I like him. Not love any romantic, but it's like ng'onaba ne celebrity gw'oyagala nga fan ng'oli fan we n'ogamba omusajja oyo ne musanga somewhere bannange, I'll just hug him. He's the best of the best. Ng'azanya movie n'ogamba yes. But much as it looks small, it looks not serious. If you do it in the eyes of a partner, you are just talking about meeting a butler all your life. I focus skeptical. Nagamba ono nga njoga. Seba ali mukwagala celebrity amagalira. Amagalira paso gange mu nyumba yange. Wali ndio bisesa. Banenga tutwa bikola. Okay? So whether bakwanye, whether omukazi akubye, whether waliwo omuntu gw'olinako crush, whether waliwo omuntu akuzate webase tobyogeranga. Ebyo babiyita byama. Obisigaza ku mutima gwo ogamba yo omuntu oyo kyama. Kyama. Tebabyogera. So that we're in a smooth ride in the relationship. That's how fun it is. So come clean, baby. Omugamba, let me think through. Kitegeeza nti ne bwe tuba tugenda kwogera tugenda tukola edits. People like us who talk a lot. Nze bana njogera. Era in my beginning years of life. Nga babida yanga batulaawo. Maria mumbuulya. Then oyogera ta. I was in issues because of talking. nga I want to come clean nga munda bawendi wano I want always to come clean saga byama tugachikubawo nga wekiri up to when I realized that, oh my God, it doesn't work. It don't work. You're always in arguments because of what you said. You said this, I remember it very well, what you get. Remember? So you don't have secrets. And then you end up in problems. So if you're a woman there, Katonda yakutonda toyogera nnyo, weebaze Katonda. Weebaze nti gwe tova mu bigambo. That is a gift. But many of us, we are struggling with talking. And that's why I discovered journaling. Nalina ebigambo bingi nnyo nga njagala kwogera sina kyama. Njagala kunyumya stranger munyumiza obulamu bwange within 5 minutes. Excuse me, how are you? My name is Amariam. Now, as if bankajika ka tape mukamwa. Okay? So you learn that as you grow, it doesn't work. Honesty is lack of politeness. Some things you have to say them, but don't say it. Because it is going to damage, it's going to hurt the other person. And you're not a friend of love. So that is my analysis when it comes to relationships and secrecy. That secrets damage relationships. Secrets damage marriage. Secrets damage potential partners. Okay? To releasing of your mabio sirika ulira wagamba yogera to byogera because they will not understand you in the later stage of the relationship development. Okay? So the questions that hurt a relationship. Number one, having a private love affair. That can hurt a relationship. Toyogeranga bintu ngebyo. If you're married, if you're having a long term, toyogeranga muntu kigo yagala mulala. Ebyo tebabyogera. Sirika mwagalire wano. Some things are better kept on the heart. Bireke ku mutima gwo. Okay? Substance addiction. Obadde okozesa drugs all long. Oli amanya tute muntu ategeera akolagana n'ogamba munange. Mukwano nakye sitagamba naye mbadde ku drugs. Kakoze kano. Nagamba je bantomeza. Wabuli omu abatyo mutomeza. Okay? Some people have spiritual problems. Nga we know spiritual issues ewamwe. Muyina ebintu ntu. Tujjagenda obinyonyole mudogo wakalaba. Omugamu naye olabe waffe tulina ebintu. Tuli spiritual stuff. Nego bigambo luse wabe bagundi baki basabi nnyo. Bo tebabelieving anti eseri mu spirits. Bo babelieving Katonda yekka ali waggulu yoyo. Nga goveri omugamba nga wina spiritual issues. Ngagamba bano siba in fact bakita mulogo bano balogo family yabo balogo spirits ziri mu nyumba ebyo byogera beko omuntu akitulemu ajja tegera spirits nga abana bali myaka 18 awondo koloko bali myaka 13 nayo ko mugamba munnaye waffe waliwo kyesitagamba naye nga abana weebali. Relationships are interesting. A relationship is like opening a parcel, a gift. Whatever you find is what's there. There is a book I was reading, the guy was saying there are a lot of imperfections in love. There are a lot of imperfections in human relationships. You can never find someone who is like you. You can never find the whole package. You can never find a perfect person just like how you're not perfect. Oyinza okutwala omuntu atomanyi nti alina spirits. Ng'olina bitegera nga abaana bali myaka 13. N'ogamba, eno family ginayingira. There is no turning back. It was signing full stop. By the way, we should come to that level of understanding that at times when you marry, when you say I do, and you're in, you said I do. Period. Chiwede. I know what I'm communicating. That thing of falling back, of regretting, nakola ensobi, setegereza, nalaba bubi. In marriage there is Dr. Is it Miles Monroe? Yeah, in the book called, I think it's Married, Separated and Divorced. He said, marriage is the only place where you don't turn back. When you sign that document and you say, I do, and then in the middle of the whole process you say, Nalaba bubi, don't give us those excuses. Don't give us those excuses. Kitegeeza ne bw'otegera nti family erimu bi spirits ngo omwana ali myaka 13. That's not the time for you to give an excuse of divorce. Nti family erimu ebyo uyingira tula butuzi. Marriage is like opening a parcel. Whatever you find is what is there. There is no chance of looking back. Okay? There is no chance of looking back. kakati woba oli mufumbo bw'oba ogenda kuwasa oba wawasa bw'oyingira ekintu ekyo ebintu ebimu newabisanga wakati newabisanga nga oli wakati bannange mukkirize beginning again because dating ebawa chances katonda yabawa chance ya dating n'abagamba omuntu mwetegereze ebbanga bwe liti nti mwaka gumu 2-3 eryo ebbanga ly'okwetegereza oba spirits waziraba oba tewalaba nti owaabe basiru bali ddamu oba tewalaba nti owaabe balina omusaayi omwavu ebyo tewabiraba n'obidiscoveringa ng'obufumbo buli mu myaka 18 don't give us that excuse. Don't give us that excuse. You're in. And this goes to the ladies who love married men. Always remember this thing. Don't ever allow anyone who comes with that story. A married man giving a story of a mess. I messed up. I made a mistake. Tell them this. Tell them. Bagambe counselor yagambe bwati. Marriage is the only place when you're in the middle of the whole thing. Okay? You discover something. You've opened a puzzle. Okay? And whatever you find inside, that is it. Oba osanga mu lugoye, oba osanga mu giraasi, oba nga abikudde ekirabo, oba osanga mu kiteeteeyi, oba osanga mu... that is what you're going to find. So don't bring that excuse of I married wrongly. Say excuse, later excuse endala nnyo. Okay? Because dating yali ekumala maze okwetegereza omuntu ono. Dating baagibawa mwetegereze. Dating is not having sexual relations with a partner. Dating is looking the in and out, the pros and cons, every information about this person is in the dating stage. Their family, who they are they dumb, are they rich? Family ezimu zirina omusayi nga mwavu, ng'omusayi mwavu nga n'obwona akola otya olina okufollowinga trail eyo. I've learned the spiritual aspect of life. We are human beings in a body experience. I mean, we are spiritual being in a human experience. So bwe bintu bingi oteesa controllinga ngo mugeze mu relationship eri deeper. Kakati gwe n'ogenda n'ogamba nti kati neetegereza omuntu nkoze ensobi tubiveemu kubanga saategeera bannange muleme kudda mu bintu bimu. Ebimu tebabiddamu. Temudda mu bintu ebyo. Open the puzzle, take that. Togamba nti omusajja amunywa mwenge ebibbanga byonna baali kuwa wali olaba. Red flags waziginowalinga. Ayagala nnyo abakazi wali olaba. Wali olaba. Naawe engeri gyakufunamu. Eyanza abajja wange mbaga tuddeyo kwa mabega. Mwasanga nawe ojja wulya story awo. Na mujja ku mukwano gwange, yanziba ku mukwano gwange, ayakujja ku muntu oyo abaneze emize. That is their way of life. Okay? So let's learn that when it comes to a relationship, certain things we can't repeat them again, especially when it's a long term. Unless otherwise, well, extremes, wogamba nti kino tukireke. But before those extremes come, omuntu akuwanga excuse eyanalonda bubi, nakola mistake, yambuzaabuza, yanimba, bakuwa obudde, towetegereza. That's why tuba ne shows zino zibajjukiza ebintu ebimu bye mba mwerabidde ne tubikoonako bibajjukize. Like what I was saying, these are some of the things you should not keep as secrets in a relationship that really hurts, okay? And when you say them, it will change somebody's feelings towards you. Having a private love affair, substance addiction, money problems, okay? Where you want your partner to be part of your mess in any financial matter, that is not a good secret to release. Not revealing illness. You may be having there people aligning what days. Aina sickle cell, aina maybe HIV, aina and what days they tag critical treatment. Okay? Ntitagenda banga mudwali obulambo bonna. Notachogerako ekyo. No cheta wakati wa relationship. It can really damage the whole relationship. And starting new family where someone can or in relationship alina ogamba nti ogenda leta muntu mulamu equation espera abaami ebyo biyinza okutabula relationship n'omukyala, okay? Ng'ategedde nti ki olinayo omuntu omulala woyagala otandika naye obulamu ate nga tulina obulamu naffe bwe tukola, okay? Ebyo biri ku side y'abaami. Most of the time having a crush on family member, okay? N'oba ng'olina omwami muganda w'omwami naye nga omutundako oba tolina ky'owulira banne ebintu bwe biri mu family. If you've ever had a crush on your in-law, on the brother of your boyfriend, Nomotuako nti nga obusimu obuwulira ku muntu oli naye ng'ate ono wagamba dda nti ono gwoyo oli naye. Those things happen in relationships. Tubuulireko wakyandolinga otya wano n'otunuulira omuntu bw'oti ng'ate baluganda n'ogamba kale singa nasooka kulaba oli naye tojja kyogera wano mukamwa. So bye ebintu betalina kwogera. Tosobola kugamba muno nti wabula brother wo yankuba, ebyo tebabyogera. Sister wo yankuba, tebabyogera. That is a secret to you. So those are some of the things you should never release as secrets, and if you must release them, especially the healness part, omuntu olina okuba nga amuinforminze. Naye kakati katuwogereko the bad moments on when to release a secret. Wawulira nga ekusiiwa ekutta. When do you say it? When do you tell somebody that there is something I want to tell you, darling, this, nochikubawo? Because most of the time, even the moment to release a secret is important. Don't release secrets in wrong timing. It may actually damage the whole communication process. Okay? Secrets must never release at bedtime. Omuntu agenda kwebaka n'omuzuukusa namugamba mukwano nakyenjagala okugamba nakyenjagala okugamba buuliraako waliwo omwana gwe sitagamba gwegamba okiyita mu ssaawa enkyamu oli obwongo bugenda kwebaka oyogera ku mwana gwa nakola bwati ogambye ki? So many of the fights you see in relationships ziva ku bantu kwogera bigambo mu budde obukyamu. Ekyo kyoyogera kyandibadde kituufu naye omuntu muyiteeko wantu mugende muhavinge ku ddina alye ku mmere awummule bulungi aveeko ne mukasipa nga awummudde olyoka okubewa ekigambo ng'ekyo agambe ekyo kyoŋŋambye nga kinene nnyo naye nga mukakkamu so singa ŋŋenda kwebaka bwe nti n'okubawo ekigambo. Bed time is rest time, no time to release secrets. When you are drunk, never talk any secrets when you're drunk. No gamba mukwano wo kyesitagamba mazima gali naye sikwagalangako nakuyamba buyambi. Unagamba bulijjo tanjagala. Wewe yagamba nti bayomba n'omukyala. Omukyala namugamba mazima gali nti sikwagala. Akyogera. Omwami amanyi bulijjo beyagala. Omukyala atamira agamba nze amazima gali nti nze sikwagala. Oyina okubawo ne gwoyagala nze njagala gundi. Uneyekanga mukere bw'otegera nagamba ne waŋŋambye tonjagala. Bulijjo badde onnimba. Sometimes people make you drunk to speak the truth. Many men can make you drunk women to speak the truth. Bamwogera nnyo. Nze nange wemba mpozi nze sinywa. Naye bwemba oyinza mayanga oyogedde buli kimu. Okiteeka ali ku mmere oyina agamba bulijjo ono bw'ati. So when you're drunk, never release a secret. When you're stressed, never release a secret. When you're angry with anger, ng'oli mu busungu n'ogamba nze n'abo abaana si babo, oyina yeekangamu. There's a couple I think I read about. Bayomba ne bagenda in heated argument. I think I read it in the papers. Omukyala n'akubayo ekigambo n'abaana bonna si babo, gali n'adduka ku DNA yakyogera mu busungu. Because one writer said people release the truth in times of high emotion. Nti omuntu wabeera mu high emotions boogera mazima ebiseera ebisinga. Okay? So be careful on releasing secrets when you are angry. Sooka okakkana olyoka oyogere. Then when you're depressed, do not release the secret. When you already have other troubles, when your partner has other troubles they're dealing with, ayina issues with business and what, n'ogamba naye waliwo ne kino n'okikubawo, it may not be the best time to release the secret. That's when you have to release the secret. Bw'owuliranga ekigambo secret oyaga kireleasinga. Okay? Just to remind you, when you talk about the word secret, because many of you may be asking, what is the secret anyway? What is the secret? Secret chechi, privacy chechi. Kubanga omuntu ayinza okugamba lwaki oŋŋamba secret, lwaki oŋŋamba privacy, kitegeeza ki? Secret, when it comes to secret, it has the following definition according to the dictionary. It is defined as something that is kept or has to be unknown by other people or unseen. Ekintu ky'okuuma kyagala muntu yenna akimanyi kyebawulira secret nga kyakyama. Then being polite means showing regard for others in matters of speech and behavior. Whenever you release a secret, you may not be being polite. Oyinza okuba toli polite because you're trying to be honest, but honestly you're hurting somebody with your secrets. Okay, so njagala mutegeere ebigambo ebiri ebyo, secret ne politeness ne privacy. Okay, bw'otegeera ebintu ebyo n'engeri gy'opulenga nabyo bijja kwanguyira mu kurelatinga n'abantu abalala, kubanga abantu abasinga relationships zibalemerwa kwogera kwe tutawanya most of the time. I learned the hard one, that's why I'm teaching it. Okay, so let's talk about how to tell whether you're ready to give a secret. Mbamanya byamba mu biina naye obyogera ddi wogamba kati kankyogere ekiba kibe. How do you know? Because the best way to feel that you were ready to give a secret is your physical reaction to give away the secret. Owulira otya ng'ogenda kyogera, otegeera otya nti ddala ntuuse okukyogera. Okay, so number one, pay attention to your heart palpitations. Bw'oba ogenda kwogera ekintu sooka okifumiitirize kugamba ngenda mugamba nti ninayo abaana abalala abatali babe naye bw'okyogera bw'oti naye bw'omutima gukola twa ng'ogugwo gwe manya n'ogwe gujja kuba ng'ogugwo. When you feel eyo secret eyo terinatuuka kureleasingibwa. Number two, when you're blinking faster. Bw'olaba ng'okola bw'oti, olaba nkola amaaso bwe nti kansooke nziiko galumi muneetegereze, olaba bwe nti ng'olaba ogera kwogera ekyama naye ng'otandise otemereza bw'oti, manya nti ekyama ekyo nga bw'otemereza bw'oti onoli agamba ogambye mukwano ogamba ki naye bw'ati wafemya kitegeeza kikikoze naye kikikoze ki kyekimukoze. Okay, so most of the time don't release that secret. If you must, at your own terms. Breathing a bit heavier. No gamba nina kyengenda okugamba naye nokola bw'oti asitokola nolina ekyagenda okukola nga kirisiivinze nogambye otya mukwano naye bw'ati wagenda okussa. So learn the emotional reactions, especially the physical part of you when you're releasing a secret. It may end up damaging your spouse or partner. Your blood pressure increases. Ngogera kyogera. So those are all the emotional responses that tell the body that ekintu kyogenda releasing si kyamu tawanya ndi munno naawe nyo owulira ng'okiwulidde okitidde kitegeeza gwogenda okigamba ate ekigenda mukuba wala nnyo. Okay, so be very attentive when you're going to research a secret. Okay, that well said marks the end of our session today. Ebyama era njagala kubajjukiza nti owulira ng'olinayo ekyama tulinayo department, tulinayo club agita Secrets Club. Nakola Secrets Club nga njagala nga mmaze okutegeera nti abantu baŋŋamba ebintu bingi nnyo bibi tebasobola bigamba bannaabwe, tasobola kigamba mwagalwa we, tasobola kigamba maama we, tayagala kireleasing naye ayinoonya omuntu gwakigamba n'akisirikira bannange nkuuma eby'amaazi yadde mudaba wano njogera nnyo naye obudde owogera ekyama ky'omuntu sibulina. Okay, ojja n'okimbuulirako n'okkakkana n'oddayo n'ofumba ne balinda ku last day of the earth ne bakabajjayo abaana baabo bagundi naye nga gwe toswadde okibalekedde. Okay, ebyama, it's part of life. Okay, and we understand that everyone and each one of you has them. Okay, so when you're going to say the secret, when you're going to give your secret nga gwe oyagala kigamba munno towulidde bye nkugambye tobitegedde osazeewo obeere to come clean. It's like there's a story I have which really impressed me. Omwami bamukwatira mu bwenzi n'ayagala okaminga clean eri omukyala namugamba ne mukwano tutuule omubuulire mu butuufu ddala bulijjo oyagala omukyala oyo. Omwami n'agamba ndiye okuva ddi emyaka ng'esatu emabega mulina abaana nti ye omu. I'm telling the truth, that was the end of that marriage. Happiness yakomaawo was started because the man was coming clean. Olw'okuba nti babimanyi bino bye mbagambye mwe mufunye omukisa abaana ba ladies guide ba students nti mbe bagambye bino nti si kirungi kwogera buli kimu yadde kiba kyeraze bwe kiti ebimu olina okwegaana mpaka ku last moment ogamba nze so sikimanyi n'okomba ne ku paasi baŋŋambye oyagala gundi nti nedda ewalabye bubi. You need to learn to gaslight just to save a relationship and to be in a happy love. This is the bad part about emotional intelligence. Nti ebintu ebimu tubiraba naye nga singa okijja n'okiteeka ku mmeeza bw'oti ogenda destroyinga obufumbo bwonna bufe bannaye tebubuzimbika n'okubufuna obumanyi ng'ejja wabufunamu n'okubufuna laavu yennyini ogifuna lwali lutalo kati lwaki ogittira ku bigambo obugambo bwe biti byonooyo ekyo kyomazeemu emyaka mingi waakiri ogamba nedda naye kati gwe omuntu ogambye nti omukyala namwagala mulinamu n'omwana okakasa omwagala nti mwagalira ddala naye mukwano nsonyiwa ebyo tibajja kukusonyiwa tukimanyi omwagala but that's not the right time to release that word. Let's learn to zip up information which is going to be damaging to romantic relationships, and that's the reason for today's show. Just to remind you and always to remember, a person who releases every information in the name of being honest to a loved one, irrespective of hurting them or not, because they are coming clean, is no friend of love. Toli mukwano gwa love. Love egenda kukyawa, love egenda kuddwa kubanga togiwadde ekitiibwa kyayo. Ebintu ebimu olina kutegeera ng'obikoze eki obisiriikiridde. Okay, so be prepared always when you're going to share a secret, and be accountable for every word you're going to speak. Okay, that is what they call emotional intelligence. Okay, so today we've been in social intelligence, and these are the things I teach my students. They are very wise girls, they are very wise. Tulinamu abambi batono, most like women, byembasomesa bino nti omulina okubeera so intelligent in handling relationships of life, and that's where the role is. If you don't learn what to say and what to say, mugenda fiirwa abantu ababaagala, mugenda fiirwa relationships entuufu, mujja kuva mu bufumbo mbudde obutannaba kutuuka. Bannange muleme kwekwasa nti relationships nzibu. Oluusi byetaagamu intelligence and social intelligence, bye bintu bye mulina okumanya. Olina wakwatanga ng'oli mu kintu ng'olaba nti okyoga kigenda kumenya amaka gonna, waakiri weegaane, gamba kyo walabye bwe mukwano nti nalabye n'omugamba nedda kwetegereze siwulira abadde nze oyo walabye bubi nina omuntu afaanana naye kazini wange nga bw'olaba wenfaanana bw'afaanana si yenze oyo, kubanga singa ogamba nti yes amazima gali nti kyekyo kyewalabye kituufu ogenda kutta ekintu kyonna, ajja kwefuula ategedde eddakiika eyo, then waddayo neyebaka bw'ati n'apulayinga skiti ya information egyo omuwadde, the next day he has changed ngagamba bw'ati bw'ali. Okay, so coming clean is not good anymore. That's why I rather not even talk most of the time, because talking is the problem. Twogere ebintu ebitufuukira ekizibu. Okay, so coming clean, oli wagamba please tell me everything honey, and we married, we are one. Always remember, ladies guide agambye atya, we are individuals in a relationship, and that is the rule. If you're dating and you're seeing someone, don't give all your information on the table, because you're losing the mystery that comes with love, and you'll never be forgiven for that. Okay, that was said marks the end of our session today. Don't forget to be members of the Ladies Guide channel. Okay, but members bafunam a lot, and we have a lot of packages for them in the future. Just support us by being a member to this channel by clicking on the link in the description section below. And remember that every time you become a member, you become supportive, you become loyal, and you benefit a lot from these sessions in the time to come. And also watch our previous session in the link provided in the description section. Mariam Nabuja and the Ladies Guide. See you again next week. Love you so much, and bye bye.
She's a lady.